Hello again, it's Brian here. The next series of videos, I'm going to keep as short as possible, but it's concerned with Harcourt, which is in central Victoria. It's a small town, and within its boundary is the farm where Janelle and I have been talking to California, and on radio, and where several miracles have happened, which you have seen in past videos. Now, basically I'm saying here that when I was reborn to the earth, I'm proving reincarnation and immortality. You can't actually go on the New Testament because we know it's been polluted by the Pharisees out of Babylon to manipulate the runaway avalanche of believers in Jesus at that time, and that's why they were all rounded up and crucified and taken to Rome and fed to the lions. So it's obvious that I am Yahweh today, and it all hinges on where I was reborn and where I grew up, and the various events in my life, which include the birth of my children via the harlot of Lithgow, and those of you familiar with the video so far know why that has to be. Now, we have revealed that the mother is Asherah, and was removed from the Old Testament by the Pharisees that took over after Nebuchadnezzar invaded Jerusalem and took Zedekiah captive. What history has attempted to wipe out is the fact that Jeremiah took the two daughters of the King Zedekiah, who survived, because they weren't a threat. The Chaldeans of Babylon believed that the genetic line of Israel was finished with the execution of the four sons and the king. And then Jeremiah took the two girls first to Egypt and then on a ship to Tara in Ireland, and that is where the original tribe of Judah from the Exodus had resided since 1521 BC. And they were reunited, and the line of kings went down through Ireland for 1200 or so years, and over to Scotland with the Rock of the Scone, Jacob's Pillow, and finally to the King William, the line of Scotland, born 1143 December the 4th, and died on the same date in 1215, 72 years later. So there's your coincidence. His offspring were the Marshalls and the Golightleys. Only one Golightly survived, and several Marshalls survived. Now, as the earth is held dominated by the root of all evil, money, then we must expect that I'll be born, and this would be a sign. And of course it is 105 Rothschild Avenue. Rothschild is the beast that controls the world. That's Lucifer. It's a Khazar pretender Jews out of Russia. Have nothing to do with Judaism at all. All of Europe is Israel today, and they've been bullshitted into believing they are Gentiles and have nothing to do with Israel. And this is of course because of the infiltration of the Pharisee Jews out of Alexandria, who put together the New Testament to control the Christian masses. So there's a code, of course, in the area of the Rothschild Avenue in Rosebery. Rosebery, by the way, was an English Prime Minister who was financed into power by marrying one of the Rothschilds. Now there's 8 streets. Chester, Epsom, Cressy are the first 3, starting from the most northerly area, and they have 3 8s in them. 157 is beloved. So the message starts, and this is what it looks like. See at the top, Chester Lane runs over, and then there's a small street that is extending from the top right past the word Chester, and then runs into a 30 metres down the road of Rothschild Avenue, which runs into Epsom, and at the other end it runs into Harcourt. So here we have the clue. The red line on the diagonal is Joynton Avenue, which forms a cross passing diagonally from the Chester Lane through Epsom Road to join Rothschild. And that's what it looks like there. So that short red kick at the top there is 30 metres long. The blue line coming down, which is the extension of Joynton Avenue, which comes down from the top right up past the sign Chester there, it's 80 metres long, and Rothschild Avenue itself is 1111 metres long, and this goes back to the Moabite Babylonian king. So they're laying out the streets to give you the Freemason God. Now the 30 metres from 1111 is 1081, which is offspring. So here we have the counter codes coming into play. The 30 pieces of silver, meaning Jesus, etc., when the ministry started. And look something like that. Down to the bottom, you see where I was born, between the streets of shown there as Morley Avenue and Hayes Road. So Rothschild continues through past where the red line darts off to the left. So Chester Lane, what's it all about? Well, here's the code. Jehoiada the priest took a chest and bored a hole in the lid of it and set it beside the altar on the right side as one cometh into the house of the Lord, and the priest that kept the door put therein all the money that was brought into the house of the Lord. So, as I've told you before, the Babylonian idea of the temple was a bank. That is why I, as Jesus, turned all the money lenders out of the temple. The entire length of Rothschild Avenue then to Harcourt Parade, that's that pink line on the bottom, and that's the point, Harcourt Parade. We start off with Evil one end and we end with Harcourt Parade to Salvation, and it's 69 or 0.69 miles long, which is Leonard, Jehovah, and the speed of the solar system as it moves northward at 69,000 kilometres per hour. So they were given the opportunity to lay it out, and of course they did it for all their numbers, and then didn't realise there was also building into it my numbers. Now the 105 is eagle, or which means angel in the old readings. So the distance to the South Pole from 105 Rothschild Avenue is 3875, and we also find that, and I'll show you later on, that it is the number located by the gravitational centre line of the Great Pyramid, which is the altar to Yahweh. So we have 8 streets running into Rothschild, either across it or into it. They are streets, they're lanes, they're avenues, etc. These are Chester, Epsom, Cressy, Crewe, Queen, Morley, Hayes and Harcourt. The total in English gematria is 601, divided by 8 is 75.125, and 7512 is the word stamped, found in Daniel, and is the 4th beast, the Rothschild banking dynasty of today. After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth as weapons, and it devoured and brake in pieces all nations, and stamped the residue with its feet of it, and it was diverse from all other beasts that were before it. And this is talking about ancient Rome, Greece and Babylon. Goes on, all things are delivered unto me of my Father, and no man knoweth the Son but the Father, neither knoweth the man the Father save the Son, and he to whomsoever the Son will reveal to him. That's what I'm revealing